songs out on the show. I have
Yeah,
that.
okay.
It's on.
I know, baby.
Mr. Chairman.
I just want this part. I'm sorry. Here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's impromptu MLK Day podcast. It's not completely impromptu. We kind of planned it just a little while back, but it's impromptu for the day that we normally would do it on. We have in the building with us Dr. Malik Muhammad. We'll go into all of that later. Right now, we're going to intro with some MLK. Give us a second, okay?
I need not pause to say how very delighted I am to be here tonight, and how very delighted I am to see you expressing your concern about the issues that will be discussed tonight by turning out in such large numbers. I also want to say that I consider it a great honor to share this program with Dr. Bennett, Dr. Comminger, and Rabbi Heschel, some of the distinguished leaders and personalities of our nation. And of course, it's always good to come back to Riverside Church. Over the last 8 years, I have had the privilege of preaching here almost every year in that period. It is always being of a new way beyond the darkness that seems so close around. Over the past 2 years, as I have moved to break the betrayal of my own silences, and to speak from the burnings of my own heart, as I have called for radical departures from the destruction of Vietnam, many persons have questioned me about the wisdom of my path. At the heart of their concerns is where it has often loomed large and loud. Why are you speaking about the war, Dr. King? Why are you joining the voices of dissent? Peace and civil rights don't mix, they say. Aren't you hurting the cause of your people, they ask. And when I hear them, though I often understand the source of their concern, I'm nevertheless greatly saddened. For such questions mean that the inquirers have not really known me, my commitment or my calling. Indeed, their questions suggest that they do not know the world in which they live. In the light of such tragic misunderstanding, I deem it of signal importance to try to state clearly, and I trust concisely, why I believe that the path from Next Avenue Baptist Church, the church in Montgomery, Alabama.
So, y'all know I be out of order sometimes. There's an actual part in this speech where he speaks about silence is just as bad as not fighting. Too often we refer to the freedom speech for Martin Luther, and we don't listen to a lot of the other ones that he has given, and they are very powerful as well. And those are some of the things that I want to touch on with Dr. Malik today. So, oh wow, that's powerful. Chai just pulled up, in the end we will remember not the words of our enemies but the silence of our friends, and that's very true, because it's very bad to me to see wrong and say nothing. I'm just sorry, and then say I disagree with it, but it's not my fight, or it has nothing to do with me, or let's just let it pass. Anything like that, to me, you become an enemy. But before we get into it, let's of course welcome the ladies of Tea.
Hello.
Eccentric T couldn't be with us today. She may be able to come in a little later. In the meantime, we send our love and support to her as she's dealing with something. We have Chai in the building. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's early in the week, so it's no
It
need to
is
say how
early
your
in the
week going.
week.
So how was your weekend?
The weekend was wonderful.
It was.
I'm sure some of the viewers tuned in to our party yesterday that we had.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Meeting a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Celebrating the birthday. Hey,
Yes.
Jahan. Some folks got some tattoos.
Yeah.
Some new ink. So
Tipsy
yeah, that was
and
fun.
tatted.
It was
Tipsy
fun.
and tatted, piping hot.
It was a lot of fun yesterday.
We had a great time.
Yeah, had a good time.
All day event too. Like, oh my gosh, when I leave here, I have to catch one more nap, and then we gotta go dress shopping. Let me shout out to the businesses real quick, and then we're gonna introduce both of our guests because we actually have two guests on the panel. One of them you can't see in the camera yet, but she's gonna make herself seen. This time, you guys, I'm so proud of myself. Y'all know I'm usually like trying to figure out businesses. I took the time and wrote them down. Y'all need to give me a damn
Yes, growth.
So, of course, right? And what did I say? 18 is going to be boom.
Yes.
So, of course, we got to start with Locks, Snatchers, and More.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's our home, our sanctuary. This is where we give y'all life through the fingers.
Yeah.
Locks, Snatchers, and More. I bond, bail bond, because we're in that building. Thank you. Busy Bees Learning Center, my sister. Hey, girl, hey. Also, within Locks, Snatchers, and More, we have embellished lock jewelry. Simply Adorned Jewelry, Tamara Merritt, Fused by Mashawn. If you guys are looking for an amazing, I ain't doing my homework. Well, I mean, I know, because she was mine. Personal trainer. She was
Personal
mine.
trainer, yeah.
Think of the word.
Okay,
personal
yeah.
trainer. She is the bomb. She will hurt you, love you, and the end of your workout, she lays you down and prays over you. That chick is bad. Do you hear me? And Fitness Kings. Let me show y'all. I got on this shirt. Can you see it? Fitness Kings in the building. Unfortunately, he's out of Norfolk, Virginia, but if you're in Norfolk and tuning in, check him out and let him get you right. The Wadsworth Group, of course, for all of your home buying needs in the whole, I don't want to say just the Raleigh area, because they'll buy you a home anyway. I'll help you get one anywhere. And Allure Inc., of course, my sister's event planning. And now, without further ado, we have to introduce Dr. Malik Muhammad.
Welcome.
So let me read down his
His
bio, and Chai's gonna give a little background from his education, and then we're gonna turn over the mic to him and let him do the rest before we jump into our questions and all that good stuff. So, first of all, let me say this because I say Muhammad. Is it Muhammad or Muhammad?
Depends on the day of the week.
Okay. Well, it's Monday, so
Good. I tell people as long as the check clears.
As long as the check clears, that's all, right?
You're fine.
So, Dr. Muhammad is the clinical director for Synthesis Behavioral Medicine. Dr. Muhammad came to Durham, North Carolina in 2008 to complete his medical psychology internship at Duke University Medical Center with an emphasis in chronic pain management and a minority mental health. He also works as a consultant to medical providers to assist in incorporating mental health services into their organizations and medical settings. He also provides mental health evaluations to patient starter candidates for surgical procedures and disability evaluations for military veterans. I wish I would have known that. Yes. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to Chai so she can give y'all his,
so I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Please understand that this man's resume is about 10 feet long. Okay? So if we read everything, we'd be here for the next hour. Just talking about everything that he's done. But he has research experience at Stanford and Pacific Graduate School of Psychology. He's affiliated with groups such as Movement of Youth, I Am Great Project, which focuses on anti-bullying. He's been on Talk Back Radio with their domestic violence series. He does a lot of work with domestic violence survivors. He is a certified domestic violence response specialist. He's worked with Project Heartbeat, the best program in the ARC of San Diego. Anybody who knows about mental health, the ARC is everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is an ARC. I worked there for a little while myself. He has teaching experience at Ivy Tech Community College and the American Military University. This man has studied, worked, interned, and I'm sure influenced so many minds from coast to coast, from North Carolina to California, probably all in between. So he's bringing a lot of education, a lot of experience to the table today, so we can't wait to pick your brain.
Welcome.
I ain't know I did all that.
Yeah, right, that's just some of it. That's just a piece.
Gracious.
A little
And I
tiny
teach
piece.
Central, so I'm an Eagle.
Yes, you're Eagle. Okay, I'm an Aggie.
Uh-oh.
I didn't understand none of that till I moved here. This stuff's really serious.
It is serious.
Wait, but thank you. Thank you.
So tell us about where you moved here from.
So I'm originally born in Chicago,
Okay.
but grew up in San Diego.
Okay.
So when people talk about walking to school in the snow, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Several years. I moved to San Diego, definitely a Cali boy. Came out here for my medical psychology internship at Duke, and just decided to stay.
Okay.
Just decided to stay. To be very clear, and with anyone is, California didn't look like me. It didn't physically. There's just no, no one looked like me. No one talked like me. And when I came for internship, I was like, this is it.
Right. Okay.
This is it. And so decided to stay.
Okay.
Here I am.
Well, we're glad you stayed.
Thank you. And that bio makes you sound so
What?
doctorish.
You are.
Not in my head.
Own it. Oh, what's that?
Not in my head and not to my wife. So.
She knows what she married to.
She keeps you grounded.
Oh my God. God, yes. God, yes. I have to remind her sometimes. You know,
Like, do you know? Do you have these degrees?
I do something during the day.
Right.
Right.
That's what she does.
That kind of stuff. So
That's
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing. All the
Okay,
things
well,
she
we're
does.
going to pick your brain today for the world because you guys don't know, we get to experience his wisdom how often do you
About
come?
6 weeks.
Every 6 weeks in the salon, and when you see wisdom, you got to bring it to the camera.
Right.
So this is why we invited this brother. His education is great, but his wisdom when he speaks is even greater. So before we pick his brain, we're going to introduce my little sweet pea because she did some homework on Martin Luther King that she wants to share. My baby was up. She shared some stuff with me that they didn't teach me in school. So that one interesting fact that you showed me, Sage, and but all of them are great. So yeah, all of that. But this is the thing. The way the table is set up today, we can't see you. Would you mind coming in front of the camera so they can see you? Take your headphones off.
You can actually pull that stool up, like right there.
Yeah, just kind of sit in front of the camera. Let them know about this beautiful face.
Hard work you did.
Yeah.
All these facts you got for us.
Introduce yourself. You guys, this is Sage McKenzie. Say hi.
Hi. My name's Sage, and that's my mom. And
Proud mom.
I just did some fun facts about Martin Luther King, and one of them was that when he got shot, he didn't die. He was in the hospital, and the white doctor didn't want him to survive, so they spit on him and they took out his breathing cord, and they put a pillow over his face so he couldn't breathe when he suffocated.
I did not know that. I really did not know that.
Wow.
Okay. So can we get some more? You got a whole list over there. Did we get
I
any
thought
more?
you said just say that one.
No, baby, I want you to. I just said that one was like the one that I didn't know about.
Very impactful.
Okay. He also went to college at 15 and got his bachelor's degree by the age of 19. And he was the youngest male Nobel Peace Prize winner. He, Samuel L. Jackson, an actor guy, he ushered at his funeral, and 1 year later held his dad hostage during a protest.
Well, so when she said that part, I had to go in and I'm like, Samuel. But basically, he was at. What do you want to tell? I don't want to take over, but make sure you give the detail because I don't want people to think Samuel just crazy.
Go ahead.
He was attending Morehouse and he was not happy with the curriculum or something,
Mm-hmm.
and so he locked everybody in a room.
Okay.
And his father just so happened to be one of the people that were there, so he didn't just come. You know,
Take a hostage.
like come on.
Yeah. Because
I was like, wait, so he ushered the funeral and then...
Well, I had no idea about that.
Well, they said he ushered the funeral because the funeral was held at Morehouse and he was a prominent student that knew the campus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
That'd be some
Very
things.
interesting
I
stuff.
didn't know that.
Yeah. You got some more, babe? Or are you ready?
2 more.
Okay.
He tried to commit suicide at the age of 12 because his grandmother died. He jumped out of a second-story window of his house, but he survived. And the last one is he had an attempt assassin 10 years before he actually died by a black lady named Izola something Curry. Izola Ware Curry. She stabbed him with a letter opener because she thought that him and the NAACP were plotting against her so she couldn't get a job. So when she finally met him, she was like, "Oh, I've been looking for you for 5 years," and then she stabbed him. And then they said that if he would have sneezed or anything in those hours while he had it in them, he would have died.
Because it was that close to his
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they tell about how the family didn't press charges because she was schizophrenic.
Later afterwards they decided not to press charges because they found out she had mental illness, and she just died in 2015, and she had been in many crazy institutions.
Psych wards.
I was about to say, did you have to call them crazy? Okay, baby. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your
Thank you,
study.
Sage T. We appreciate you.
You may exit now. We love you.
Thank you.
I just want to say hats off
There's
to
so many
my brother Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes,
Absolutely.
My fraternity brother.
Yeah.
So I wanted to represent that.
Yeah, that's right. Alphas.
So as we jump into that, my actual first question for you, just listening to you talk the other day, I think that you would have some good insight as to everything that Martin Luther King stood for, everything he represented, everything he marched for. How would you say we as a people, the black community, represent that today?
Are we representing that today?
No.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. There's a I'm gonna misquote the book, but I know a white man wrote it.
Okay.
But he wrote letters from a Birmingham
Okay.
a book about
Okay.
that. And it was they call him the Black Eagle. He has a radio show on Sirius Radio.
Oh, okay.
But he's sometimes a guest speaker on NBC, this older brother. And the white guy was basically saying everyone, including black people, hated Martin Luther King Jr. when he was alive.
They did.
Go
It was not popular.
at all.
Right.
At all. And he just broke down how that letter that he wrote in the prison has been kind of inoculated, toned down, softened, and misrepresented a little bit. Because if you read it, it's really hostile.
Okay.
And it's talking to pastors of black churches saying, y'all need to get y'all butts up. Stop praying to Jesus to get in these streets with us, with these kids. Because it was the kids that wanted to get out and protest. And the pastor was saying, we don't want anyone to get hurt. And Martin Luther King Jr. had a more global perspective. He said, 10 died today to save 10 million tomorrow.
Wow.
And he was willing, he said, and I'm willing to live with that on my shoulders. And it was just a whole different lens on what he was really thinking in the moment versus the back channel pressures of just let's just wait, they ain't hurting us. Every time you come to town, somebody get killed, stay away from black pastors, black churches are telling them stay away. We don't want you, you're disruptive, this and that. And so to ask if we're doing that today on the scale we should and could do it, no. No, we're not taking those risks. Not people that can influence the environment. No way. No, not even close. And part of my position of why I wanted to work for myself is because I knew working with someone else it wasn't gonna be a good employee.
Okay.
At all, just because I've been encouraged to think freely, and all of my mentors coming up always said, if you don't do better than us, then we failed.
I like that.
We failed. And so I know some very angry black men, but I think the anger is because I want more for you sometimes you want for yourself. And that angers me. Okay.
Yeah.
But that was the energy that they brought me up under.
Right.
And so I've had a lot of very interesting transitions. Like grew up in went to Catholic school, grew up that kind of church, then Baptist, and then converted to Islam. I'm Orthodox Muslim, but worked in a Nation of Islam restaurant.
Okay.
So it still didn't work out.
Okay.
But I'm saying I learned a lot.
Okay.
That was truly an environment about development of self.
Right.
You know, it still gave me a foundation, but I was never really into white man's the devil, But I understood why they thought that, and I saw that as, looking back, cognitive as a psychologist, as a way for them to propel themselves, feel good about themselves when there was no evidence they should feel good. You know, so it served a purpose for people that were coming out of prison, couldn't get a job.
Okay.
That was how they balanced it in their own psyche. So I'll give them that. But it also, I got a lot. Because again, this was in San Diego.
Right.
Little black people in San Diego.
Right.
It gave me a foundation. Like, hey, I can feel good. I can. And so all of those things kind of mixed up, and my education and everything. it was interesting. Just to say that's part of my life. The other part of it is talking to this kind of like older brother. We were talking one day, and he said to me, he said, "Do you think you would be where you're at in life, doctor and everything, without the help of a white person?" I said, "Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can darn near look on the calendar and I can say this person intervened for me, this person gave me a job." So I'm saying I can say I have both sides.
Yeah, you have both sides.
I'm not in the perspective of black men. I did it for myself. No, we didn't get out of slavery without white people helping us. I mean, that's just the Quakers came in and helped us with that. So I like that balance. I think everyone can help everyone. I'm not in a position of no, we don't need y'all. We need everyone's help at this point. So I think that's made me really well rounded because it's allowed me to be able to see other people's positions. And one of the things I did in San Diego was a council of this organization called the National Conference of Christian and Jews. They did this thing called Anytown, which is like a 7-day race relations camp, and it's just for kids. And then so I've had that kind of training too, to see different people really face those uncomfortable conversations that we get close to talking about, and
then we shy away from it.
Right. And so for me, when I look at Donald Trump, I look at God's force. He's making us talk about this stuff. You can't choose with him. His personality won't allow it. And so there's this this psychological term, but it basically is like you have a pendulum that swings, and so basically anything in life has one extreme, or Obama. You're going to have an equal and opposite extreme, Donald Trump. But then when you come back to the middle, it's new.
Okay.
It's new. It's not where we were when we started. So whatever's coming after Trump,
it's going to be new.
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 Oh my God.
And old.
New and
old.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr. will have a different voice, and but it'll have all of that and some new stuff.
I like that. All
of that stuff to it.
You said so much that I
got more. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'm gonna get all of it.
I gotta go back to something else because go back to the Muslim thing.
Which one?
You said two. You said I was
Orthodox and then Nation of Islam.
Okay, there you go. I think people misunderstand because I do. And when you said the part about the white devil part, what side is that from?
That's from the Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam.
But are you both still Muslim?
A whole nother show.
Because you pull from, like, you both pull from
Quran,
the
Quran, everything.
But
who you think the prophet is different.
It's different. Okay.
So there's a prophet Muhammad, but people in the Nation of Islam, when they're saying Prophet Muhammad, they're talking about different Muhammad.
Okay.
Master of War of Deen Muhammad, not even Elijah Muhammad. There's layers. There's layers to that. There's layers to that. Yes.
You know who he need to come back on here with? Wayne. Because there is another. Have you met Wayne in this law? He said it's totally different too.
Oh God, yes.
And I'm like, he tries to break it down to me, and I sit and I listen, and I'm thinking. So it's the Nation of Islam side that makes people think that they're mean or okay.
Yes.
Okay, we don't have.
Well, let's say generally speaking. Let's say generally speaking. Because I don't want to label and I don't want to jab anyone's face because I again say I got a lot from being around them at 16.
But
I got a lot.
You were open-minded. You know what I'm saying? Like, were you more,
it was
or what? Like,
I was immersed. You gotta understand. I worked at a black Muslim restaurant, so if I had an 8-hour shift, as soon as you come in, there was a TV right over the restaurant, and this is Farrakhan all day long. This is when Farrakhan Islam was popping, like it was in the news, everything like that. And then they would come to town, bean pies. So literally bean pies, bean soup, special batter fish, special batter chicken, like. The whole environment was this Afrocentric, like black fish for real. So you can't go in there and not get impacted by it. One, and then two, with me being Orthodox Muslim, they would mess with me all day.
Okay.
Brother, you following that Arabic following that Arabic religion? And mind you, a lot of the brothers there, ex-felons, ex-criminals, so they grind. They when they on you,
they hardcore.
Oh God, and I'm 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But let me be clear. They love me to death. This was not them trying to hurt me. They were to them. This is the best that they've ever seen because they changed their life.
Right.
So they're like, you need to come get something.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I don't know. So every day we just Brother Muhammad, what we gotta do to can I just get my check? I was always about that check. I was like, look. Look, as a brother told me the other day, even a Jesus Christian God says he wants us to be prosperous. That ain't mean I gotta starve.
Right.
And I still have my faith. So
Yes.
I want people to know too. I like to eat. You know, not just what you want me to have. I like to have some choice in life. So I'm about that check. And I want people to have that, because sometimes religion can make you feel guilty. But the pastor still got a BMW.
Yes, true.
He didn't catch the bus.
No, he did not.
I'm just saying, you gotta have some balance with
I've
that.
never seen a pastor ride the bus.
Well, I mean, I
Come on.
seen it.
I'm here with you, so please.
My brother spoke about Creflo one time.
Okay.
When they put in the news about him having.
Have you seen it? No. Have you seen his church? My sister lives in Stone.
No, I have not seen the church. Massive.
The area that they bought, because they bought open land, it was like
Okay.
3 Walmarts could fit in it, 4 Walmarts could fit, because it was like he had a house, and then it was like the church.
Oh, his house is on the church?
No,
Oh,
okay,
it's
it's by the church. Like it's like you could.
But let me say this though.
You know
let
the
me
fence.
ask this
I knew the
question.
fence was coming. Like I knew the fence because it was. I mean, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
My brother feels like. Well, let me not say what he feels like. His response about that made it seem like he feels like men of God should just be walking around, woe is me, with nothing. But I say this. If what they have is helping change people's lives, which it is,
Yes.
in a great way,
Yes.
I don't understand why you think they should be woe is me. The Bible doesn't even tell them that they should be. It just says for the love of money. They ain't chasing money, they chasing souls. So I don't understand why you think they should be walking around. They can't teach you to be better with your money and not be good with their own.
Was what was me and broke.
Yeah, like why would you? I don't
Like,
get that. I'm
where-
sorry, I don't.
where-
There's some psychology stuff in there that we work against ourselves. That crab and the bear stuff. It's real.
Oh,
It's real.
and why is that so real in our community most? Let me say this. I've seen white people, and I'm going to just use them, but I've seen many others, but I'm going to use white people for an example, that I know they don't really like each other. But when it comes to money and business, we going to work together.
I don't have to like you to make money.
But we going to make this money.
Yeah, right.
But us, we might even like you and still won't
it's
work
real,
with you.
right.
One of my, I'll give you my own crabs in a barrel story that I think shaped me in a moment that I didn't know I was being shaped. So one of my mentors, Dr. Chambers in San Diego, so he has a party. He has parties at his house. When I say party, I mean get together. It feels like this. We talk like this. I've been talking like this since I was 18.
Okay.
Real. We call them engaged. We call them
Forums. Let's have a forum.
no, encounter groups.
Encounter groups.
I'm going to encounter you. You will feel encountered when I'm done. That kind of, and we do this thing called marathon, so it'll be for 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
In the house, you just
going at
oh
it.
God,
That's why you got all that
oh
wisdom.
God,
Yeah,
So,
right.
so,
I remember that.
I'm doing this for 8 hours. I mean, it was fun and stuff like that, but so he had one at his house one day, and I was like being invited. I'm like, oh my God. I would go in, a big gate opens up. Keep in mind, this is San Diego. It's hard to imagine if you're not been in an isolated environment like that, how big this is mentally. You go to his house, you go up, and pass on into the house, you go up this other street, and when you're going up, but you realize you're going up a hill. So I go in the back, and I see this big old thing. Go up the stairs. I go to the back of the house. There's no one there. I'm like, oh, like you don't go to the black person's house. No one greets you right away. Like, and I didn't know if it was the right house. And later on, I found out I went to the back of the house. The back of the house was literally as big as this building from the end of this block to the end of this block. That's what I said.
Wow.
What?
Right.
I'm talking about messed me up. So we spent time together, hung out and stuff like that, and over the years. And I remember we were at his house one night and got his fireplace going, TV going. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm going back to a shack. I'm like 20, you know, I'm not doing like that. And so I think I was in my doctorate program, and I just was like, man, I need to get out. So I need some patience. In my mind, I'm thinking the clock's running.
Okay.
There's not going to be any left. You know what I mean? I kind of missed my window based on what I see his success to be. And he got a little notepad, and he wrote he wrote something over it. He slid it to me, and what it said on there is more. And I said, what do you mean? He said, there'll always be more.
There's always more.
And to answer your question, I think that crabs in a barrel comes from not feeling like there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get yours.
Right.
I need to get mine. So very early on, I was getting shaped to just get the scale down. There's more.
There's always
more. The universe is gonna. I always like to say the word universe, so then one gets locked into God and There's always more, and I really believe, even in moments like when I'm like, nothing's coming.
There's always.
No, and my hand literally itches when money's coming.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Literally.
yeah.
No, literally, it happened Friday. I get home yesterday, had a check from the government for $8 and a check from the government for $23. He didn't say it's gonna be a lot.
Right,
but it's always more.
It's always.
But literally, my hand was just, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Then I got an email. I won't tell you my for the email.
Right. Okay.
I'm more than $23.
I can tell y'all that.
But it comes.
It comes.
Yes.
And what I think we miss is, I think if you can get so far from your faith and from God, you miss the signs.
Yeah.
And because then you start needing the signs in crises. Like men and women go to prison, like, I need you now. But he was always here.
Right.
5 years
Always
ago.
available.
Always available. So that gets kind of touched. But there's no God, because you called on him when you needed him. Not when he was already there with you.
Exactly.
So I think I was being shaped very early on around living
That's
in that
amazing.
world. Living in that world.
That's a blessing and amazing.
Yeah.
Like, wow. That's something.
There was always more.
And this, look, y'all know this on Marmoset? Never made it?
Yeah.
Y'all know he never says God in that whole song?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Does
He
not say
doesn't.
God.
He does not.
He doesn't make you choose. That's why I love it.
Mm-hmm.
He does not say God the whole
Yeah,
song.
without you.
Without you.
Whoever you
And you
is.
get to choose.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Whatever you
because
is
I'm
for
trying
you.
to play the song.
Just not. It was a brother on TV, a pastor said, you know, one of the reasons why I love it. It was like on Unsung.
Okay.
And the brother was saying, let me tell you something about that song. He never says God or Jesus. I'm like,
Yeah.
I said that because I always loved the song anyway. Great song.
When you say make you choose, tell me what you mean by that. Like,
I think like Islam makes you choose. Judaism makes you choose means there's this belief that only one religion can be the best religion, and then every 1,000 other religions have to be faulty. That seems unreasonable for a God to say, I'm gonna make one of y'all right, and like 99% of the planet's gonna be wrong. Like that doesn't fit to me. I think you land where you need to land based on what your constitution is inside. Other than that, I don't know. I really mess you up. I don't think the God that black people pray to is the same God white people pray to.
you better fix me because I don't.
Yeah. No. Because I mean,
wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
I heard you.
Yes.
Did y'all hear him? Because now I need.
But it's the same God
Yeah.
to me. It's the same God. But what I mean is, so during slavery, I'm only referring to America and African American experience on this planet, in America. But during slavery, white people were saying, God wants you to be here.
Yes.
We couldn't have believed in that God because we would still be in slavery.
Exactly.
So we had to take that God, but frame him in a way that said, get us out of slavery.
Exactly.
And
We
therefore,
had
I think
to
it's, so I think we're reading from the same book, but having different
Exactly.
interpretations.
Okay.
Right.
Does that?
You cleared it because I was nervous. Like,
I wanted to mess with you a little bit. I wanted to mess with you a little bit.
That was good, though.
But that's really empowering,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
That to me, that also to me means you get to connect with your God in the way that you want to, that
That
you
makes
need to
sense.
based on your experience. And it doesn't mean that I have to say that those white people around, they were living in a world that they needed to live in.
Right.
Their experience worked for them.
Okay.
We all have different tracks and journeys and stuff, and you can't. So it goes back to your
It's all
question
about
of choosing.
perception.
It is all about perception.
your name should be Enlightener. You enlighten the simplest, or not even the simplest things, the things that we don't even think about.
You break things down.
But I tell my patients all the time, I said my job was to go to school, my gift was to go to school and learn all this gibberish and translate it in a way that you understand it. If you don't understand it, there was no point.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
There was no point. Like I said, CV to you.
Oh, girl.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
And it takes a person like me that is not embarrassed.
No, but
Because he was like, I was like, could you please send me your bio and your resume? No, your bio. And he said, I'm sending the bio and the CV. And I was like, great. What is a CV?
Okay.
Because I had no idea.
Curriculum vitae, big word for resume.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was
But think about how many people will be. And so one of the things I try to do in my private practice and just common conversation, take that off. I don't, less than not knowing, because there's going to be things I don't know that you can say, well, I need a double knot twist on that locker. Huh? Like, that still has value in the universe. You know what I mean? But I don't know it, and I need you to be able to tell me without being like, well, don't you know that?
Right, no.
That's not my skill.
Right.
That's not my skill set. So that is something I like to do. Say, like, look, don't worry about all this. We're going to talk to my patients that have diabetes. We're going to call it sugar if that's what you understand.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't understand that either.
Sugar.
Sugar diabetes.
I know. I just don't understand it. But so your patients, let's talk about that. I mean, I know you can't talk about your patients, but what I'm saying is, do you deal only in mental health?
I need to ask.
As far as patients, like, do you only?
Whether the mental health, what else?
Oh, like, are you a doctor as far as?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm a PhD level licensed clinical psychologist, so that's specifically mental health issues.
Okay.
No, not doing surgery, not doing medication. Though eventually psychologists are going to be prescribing medication, but right now, no, just mental health therapy and intervention and assessment.
Okay, good. Because this is my question.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, I don't know if it's a fad, a joke, but people claim bipolar as it's like a fad to me.
Catch all.
Yeah, break that down for us, please.
Okay, so, and this is amazing, because I had my doctorate and still didn't understand what bipolar was.
Okay.
Though I was seeing it and that. So bipolar, again, talk about the swing. So people they'll have a high and they'll have a low. In the middle will be like their best days, kind of thing. But the reason why they call it bipolar has two. There's a bipolar 1 and a bipolar 2, and that's why I was that confused. So there's the bipolar and then there's 2. So one is just straight manic all the time. Then there's like hypomanic, which means you have like shorter durations, and some have longer. Technical stuff. But I think the question you're asking is a real. Do that many people have bipolar?
Yeah, because I mean everybody says they have it.
Everybody
says somebody else has it. Just by acting. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's more of needing to place a stigma on someone because you want some points in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the question. I'm trying to think about the best way to answer it is is it as prevalent as people think? True bipolar, no, because a person is truly bipolar, you will know because I mean they're rambling, they can't stop themselves. Their sentences only make sense to them sometimes. It's real hard to see. Sometimes when people are saying someone's bipolar, they might just be saying that person's difficult.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're moody.
Moody. That's what I see it most with, moody. And I'm like, I just don't think that's bipolar.
So let me give you another example. So sometimes definitions are in motion, or redefining of things are in motion.
Mm-hmm.
So back in the day, African Americans were historically diagnosed as schizophrenic compared to
Really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. So what they redefined it as is now called healthy paranoia. So white patient goes into see white therapist, and black patient says white therapist, I think my boss wants to fire me, I think it's because I'm black, my neighbors don't like me, they're going to be funny when I go home, blah, 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 blah. White therapists will say, this person's schizophrenic, they're having hallucinations, they're having delusions, da, da, da. Well, what they missed was successful black male, lives in a white neighborhood, drives a Mercedes, and yes, your neighbors are looking at you. Yes, your boss may want to fire you. And so they pulled back and said that's actually healthy paranoia because it's real.
Okay.
It's real. So when I say definitions are developing, bipolar may be developing that as people talk about it in the later conversation, may be developing into a new kind of consciousness for people in this world right now. Because it's crazy. We got to work all the time, we got kids, all the time. That's going to make anyone seem activated. When we go to I've traveled out of the country, and you go to other countries, and they're just like, and they really clown America. Like, y'all, case in point, when I was a research assistant at Stanford, this woman had come from like somewhere in Europe, and her daughter was sick, and her teacher was like, well, look, if you keep your daughter out of school, she's going to ruin her perfect attendance. And the mom was like, and? But in America, an award for perfect attendance is like big things. And the mom being from the place she was at from Europe, she was like, but I want my child to be better.
Right.
But the concept, but it made me think, wow, this is crazy. Like, you go to work when you're sick, sneezing, other countries like, why?
And here they try to make it seem like you're not worthy. Like, oh my God,
bad employee, bad. Again, why I need to have my own company.
Yeah.
Right.
America should push everybody to want to be their own boss, regardless of your race. Like, to me, but definitely for a black race of people. But even to go to an example where you said going out of the country, I want to give this example, and then let's talk about the morals in America. I was 10 years in the military, so I got pregnant with my daughter my first year in, and we were already out to sea. But I was pregnant before we left.
Okay.
And so I'm out to sea thinking I'm just seasick, so I'm out there, and the doctor finally said, let's just give you a pregnancy test.
I know you was like, no.
I'm like, how am I pregnant? I'm new to the ship. I know nobody out here. I ain't sleep with nobody. So, come to find out, I got pregnant en route from boot camp, that little 2 weeks we get before they send me to the
You
fleet.
got it in.
So anyway,
You got it in.
This 2 weeks don't
Yeah,
work.
that-
2 weeks ago,
because I'm about to go for a while.
I got
Right after
you.
9/11,
Right, you like
look, I don't know when they bring me back
What
home.
branch?
Navy.
And see, me being from San Diego, I know
yeah. My shit was on San Diego.
32nd Street. I know all. I know you.
Coronado.
Oh, woo, yeah, good pull. Good
Yeah,
pulls. Good,
yeah,
good.
that's where my shit was.
Okay.
So it was like they had to fly me back, so I flew through Bahrain. So I had to stay in Bahrain for 2 weeks by myself. So I'm like, first I stayed in my room the whole time because I was like, I don't know what to do. Then I met some people on base and they was like, here, go to the Go Soup, go do this, go do that. So I went out, went shopping by myself one night, and this girl, and it's so amazing the dark skinned people that's over there, and they always think that I'm somewhere from Africa, so they'll start telling me.
Well, African Americans don't travel.
I know.
That's why when they see us outside the country, they're like, and you got locks. I know you didn't have them.
Well, I didn't have the
I'm
locks.
just saying when I'm out the country, it's a novelty. They really don't see us.
Yeah, and we need to get out more. And it's not as expensive either as we think. But, so I was talking to the girl, and I don't know her age. I think to me, she had to be an adult. You're running a store. But then again, I don't
In
know.
those other countries, 15.
Yeah, you could be younger. But when I told her that I was traveling home because I was pregnant and that I did not have a husband, she said my family would kill me.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even live.
Literally.
There's not an abortion. There is not, we ain't talking, when you dying, because you're not going to shame us.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, like, in America, girl, bye. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
right.
Like,
Be pregnant in high school.
And
walking
I
around
remember
with
telling
big
her, part of me is thankful that I am from America, but then on the flip side, I wish our country had better morals, because I think that we would, if our country upheld us the way that those countries do, and not so much to harness the woman, because I know in a lot of countries they're put down, but just to have morals overall for the country in general. So tell me what you think about that.
Well, I've always felt like African Americans and the minority populations in America have always been kind of the moral compass of the United States. That's why it's always black. Morgan Freeman in a movie is what we go over in a movie.
Right.
But you can't give what you don't have.
Okay.
You understand? And so I have like 10,000 thoughts. I want to make sure these.
Well, let us
I
get at least 5,000.
want to make sure the appropriate one comes out.
Listen.
I just want to make sure.
Be uncut in here.
Well, he want to make sure.
Okay.
So, he got degrees on the wall.
Because I've talked to white people about being white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Educated, that understood there's a difference between being black and being white. And there's just some interesting stuff that messed me up. I can do it this way. I can talk about the one person that said this to me. That way I'm not talking about every white person, because I know every one white person doesn't think this way, because I wouldn't be here. So he says to me, I'll talk to you. I'll tell you what it's like to be white. Okay, got kind of nervous. It was on one of those encounter groups.
Y'all excuse my stomach, I'm hungry.
That's fine. And so he says to me, we curse.
Yeah.
Yes,
He said.
Did you see this president? We can say whatever we
No, I
want.
just show him on blast and flags and stuff. No. So he says to me, I'll tell you what it's like to be a white man. I'm like, okay. And this is one of the most timid, calm, I'm talking about the coolest person. He was literally a person-centered therapist, which was connected to Carl Rogers. I'm talking about one of the coolest white people you ever want to meet. He says, you don't fucking matter to me because I don't fucking matter to me. Oh. He said, I can bomb your country and go home and eat and not even fucking think about it. I've never heard this man curse. I've never heard this man curse. I've known him for years. I've never even knew a curse word. He said, I'm so disconnected. Talking about white men and white people. He said, we're so disconnected from the world. How could we ever give a fuck about you? Yeah. He said, I'm like, this 80-year-old white man. He said, that's how I can bomb your country, rape your wife. He said, I don't fucking care. I just want what you got.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
I said, I'm talking about messed. Again, I'm like 18 to 28. I'm hearing it. So he said, so that's where our moral compass comes in. They're I'm speaking in generalities, but they're so disconnected from that sometimes that they can't. It's not that they don't even want to. It's not there to get.
Right.
It's not there to get. And so that's why we have soul. That's why we have soul food.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Our essence is in everything we do. That's why when we taste white people, we're like,
Okay.
But you can't teach seasoning.
Hmm.
You just know it.
Mm-hmm.
And culture can kind of be like that. Now, I do believe the world is changing because their kids can't be the same as them because they're around our kids.
Exactly.
And that's what wasn't in play decades
Right.
ago. Your daughter is educating them just by being in the room, just by wait, they ain't dumb. So here's interesting. One of my so this is what was one of the cool things about growing up in California and having a diverse environment. So I think as African Americans, we're taught white is the best. This is on the basic level. I think we struggle with that the rest of our lives. I don't think your daughter's gonna struggle with it because we're able to give them more sooner. Kind of path them from that. So, Korean girl that I know moves from Korea, grew up. I think she might have came in like the 5th grade, and she ended up going to UCSD in California. And she said, "Oh, all of us, we just thought white people were stupid." And I was like, "That's how you navigate the world."
Yep.
That's how you navigate the world.
Wow.
Like she was like, "Yeah, we saw them, but not worried about them.
Right.
Not hurt me. I gotta process stuff. I didn't look at it." She's like, "They're stupid. They couldn't pass this test. We barely stuck." It was just a different way of existing, but she had a whole environment that reinforced value being from Korea.
Exactly, and in education, is their value. So I'm smarter than you.
So I got a whole nother parallel example that was interesting. The school that my undergrad I graduated from is called United States International University, Miramar, California. Small private school. Okay, so my friend Obi Ihime from Nigeria. Okay, so generally in the United States, if you come from the United States to go to college, you have to pay cash. You can't get financial aid. My school was like $60 a year. Her dad, just to give you context of how much money her dad had, it was like, "I'm tired of sending these checks. Can you just find out how much it's going to be for the next 4 years so I can pay the check right now?"
This was who? What girl?
Obi from Nigeria.
Mm.
So oil money.
Yes.
Oil money. And so to her, white people only came in to do business and leave. She had a chauffeur growing up, take her to school. She'd go to school and then have 4 hours of tutoring after that. But I'm talking about, if you met her, the coolest, just the most down to earth. And she asked me one day, she said something one day that was so interesting. She said, "Why'd they take you from us?"
Wow. What?
It was about messed up. Why'd they take you from us? We had a bunch of just deep experiences like this. So anyway, we were at the mall one day. And it was just like, so La Jolla, San Diego. So we were in La Jolla at the mall. And so, UTC, it was right by campus. So anyway, it was an area that's grown up in San Diego. You just kind of don't go to. You feel like they don't really want black people here. The store's a little higher end. And she's like, "Well, I want to go in there and look at this Gucci watch." And I'm like, because
you nervous?
They're going to ignore us, and my tapes are going off, right? She goes in there, she's just not phased. I want to see that one, but not on some like I'm better than you. Just
this is it. It just is.
I'm shopping.
It just is. I'm shopping. This is what I do.
And this is what you're
supposed to do. And Gucci.
Oh no! And you're supposed to give it to me.
Right.
And I'm looking at the girl that's helping her. She's like giving her shade. So we leave the store, and I'm like, "Oh, but you didn't still bother?" She was like, "No, what happened?" I said, "Well, this happened." She said, "But she's at work. Why would I be worried about what she thinks? She's worried about what I think." And I thought about that. This is what it looks like to be black and not affected by racism.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like to grow up in an environment where you're inoculated from a constant attacks. Everything around you says you exist and that you have value. So those things have shaped me.
But I got a question about that.
Sure.
Because what about, I wonder what it is for her that made her ask you that question when a lot of people from the continent of Africa, I don't know which countries are the worst with this, but feel like we aren't from our...
No, I had those too.
Oh, okay.
Because see, the thing is, my school was so small, you had everywhere. If you were from another country, you were rich. That was just it. And I was getting a shade from these other ones. I'm like, but they were saying, that's just people. That's just people that are going to be people. But what she basically said to me was, you're not pure blood to them. She just said, you're not pure blood. She said, those people see you as white.
Right.
I had the same look on my face. I said, after all we endured, she said they see you as tainted. Whereas they feel like...
But we didn't taint ourselves.
I'm just telling you what she said.
I know, but why are you so mad about it?
So Tiffany Lee said, white privilege. She said, in my human service class, a white female said, I speed every day because I know I'm not going to get stopped. And
I had a way to say that on my timeline.
And if I do, I'm not going to get a ticket. I go shoplifting because I'm not being watched.
That's real.
I have money. And we're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess the
That's
class is
real.
like, what? You know.
But that's real. And I like
And J.
that.
Hamilton McCoy Esquire said, that's my dog.
Yeah. Jerry McCoy.
And Erica Boyd said, "Hi, Dr. Muhammad."
That's my wife. Stop playing.
Larry.
She's fronting.
Oh, okay.
Fronting.
Hi, wife.
But that's so
Larry
interesting. I have
Ruffin
never,
said you're doing a great
that's
job.
honestly my first time hearing any person from the continent of Africa saying something even remotely like
that.
we are part of them in any way.
I felt grounded in that moment.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I was like, we do have a connection.
Right.
I don't care how many African medallions people wore in 1990, but for someone from the continent to say
why they say that. Right. Well, why
you're
they say
part of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then have other people that are from Africa say we hate it here. Well, you hate America, don't you? Because you know that American hubris is everyone wants to come here.
Right.
No, we can't. They literally be like, we can't wait to get back.
To get back.
That was. I saw it was interesting. I didn't know I was being getting. Again, I didn't know what I was getting until I got away from it. But they really were. I learned a lot just being around people from Africa. Like, but also understanding too that to me, I feel like so if someone would say we're not pure blood, and to me, I would say we're the best blood. We're the survivor blood.
You better say that.
Because that's the only people that survive the Middle Passage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only people. So you want to talk about Darwinism and weeding out of bad genes?
Mm-hmm.
We're the best, still standing.
Yeah, I like that.
We're the,
Me too.
We're the
I like
best.
that a lot.
I just feel
That's
empowered from that alone.
Yeah.
That's just pure genetics. You can dispute that all day. Like that's just fact that we're only the strongest survive that. Now that's not to say others didn't sacrifice, because God bless people did sacrifice and die so we could survive.
Exactly.
And I had this shirt that says, got the crazy thing. I had this shirt that says, because me and Trell always trip off of shirts. I had a shirt that says, "I am my ancestors' wildest dreams." And I'm at South Point Mall here in Durham, and white woman with her younger white child says to me, "Love your shirt." Walking, I'm coming out of the Apple store, walking around the corner. Older white woman,
Yeah.
"Love your shirt." I'm thinking black people gonna be, no,
Right.
no,
The white woman.
no. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, but so that's why I was trying to keep that in mind too. I don't have to leave them behind or not exist with white people. Like they,
Yeah.
in case in point, just so people know, about only 10% of white people own slaves. The rest were poor. Just to be clear, this belief that everybody plays
Right.
No,
They couldn't afford it.
no.
They were
Indentured servants. They just got to go home at the end of the night.
I didn't know that.
We had to stay on
I
the
really didn't
plantation.
know that.
Just context of and they did that to divide white people. Not did that, but that they used that to divide poor white people against poor black people instead of us coming together. Because white people say, "Well, you're taking our." We were literally taking their jobs.
Oh, so it was white people working with our
Indentured
ancestors?
servants,
Uh-huh.
yes, in the fields.
Was I asleep in class?
And
No, they wouldn't tell you
labor.
in class.
Oh, okay, because I
They
didn't
didn't
get
tell
that
you.
part.
They didn't tell you that.
But I learned about indentured service. What did I do?
They prettied it up. They made
Oh,
it
they
sound
had
like
to, because
white people
Yeah.
working next to us.
But you know what? History is being rewritten in books to where we're looking like indentured servants.
Yes.
So please
Yes.
teach your
Yes.
children.
Yes.
Teach. Education is key because they about to flip this.
I was watching this crazy movie.
They are flipping the
I
history.
was
They
watching
are.
this
It's in books.
crazy
Like, we are indentured
Dora
servants.
movie
Oh,
that I
wow.
shouldn't have been watching because it wasn't that good. But there's one guy, the character, she said, "Well, our slaves are escaping." The guy was like, "No, I like the S word." She says, "The prisoners that have jobs are." I was like, I caught it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I caught it.
So let's talk about this, right? I wasn't going to bring this back up, but I cannot sit in here and talk with you about this and not just get your take on this.
Okay.
And again, I'm bringing this up, y'all, but please don't get mad at me, the people that commented on my thing. Let me pull it
Bad
up.
with you. While you pull that up,
Yeah, you read while I pull it up.
Michelle Moreland said, "What's up, brother? We're watching you from Atlanta.
Oh,
Excellent
right,
commentary. Hi,
We got Atlanta.
Alexis Brooks. Hey, Alexis. Yeah,
Let
we
me
have
go
a few
back
people
to it.
watching, but yeah, this is. Now, which post was this?
This
You
was
said
my-
folks were mad with you.
No, I don't think they were mad with me.
But just
you
very
can tell
passionate
by
about
the way
their
they
thing.
were coming back that
They did not agree.
First of all, now that I'm on the mic, let me.
Look,
hear this.
my mentors taught me that I was in this men's group every Friday, Wednesday night in San Diego.
Okay.
10 black men lock you in a room. We talk for 4 hours every Wednesday. And this one brother said to me, he said 2 things to me. He said, "You got a room full of adults and everybody's agreeing.
Yeah.
Somebody's lying."
You better say it.
Half those lines.
And the second think ain't got shit to. No, what you think about me ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
What you think of me ain't got nothing to do. That's still in your head.
I like it.
That ain't got to be my reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
what people say, I encourage the conflict because I've learned conflict is you have to have.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, let's talk about it. Let's not just. So this is what happened.
Okay.
I was cleaning out my storage and I found my mother's license. Now I actually posted this years ago on a Throwback Thursday, and it was whatever. But I posted it again because I ran across the license again. It was on a Thursday, and it's just like, wow. So as you can see on my mother's license for race, it has N. Now I know.
His reaction is perfect.
That's hot.
Right? But
That's
listen,
it.
and the fact that you reacted this way, that's why I said, now that we're on the mic,
That's
for
perfect.
everybody that
That's
responded
perfect.
on my text,
That's
when
perfect.
I found this, me and one of my sisters were in the room with us, the other one was on the
man.
phone, and we laughed.
Oh man.
We weren't like, oh my God.
That's hot.
So when I posted this, I was not the angry black woman. Let me tell y'all, if y'all knew my life, most of the people I'm close with are white. And I ain't like the white people that say, I can still count my black friends. It's not that. What I'm saying is there's nothing in me that's angry or mad or, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to point people out. None of that. But I do call spade a spade. And so I saw this damn spade.
That's
and then I
funny.
put it out there.
That's good.
So,
what state was that?
here.
North Carolina.
And, where you decided to stay.
Right. Yeah. Welcome to the Carolinas.
And so I love your reaction because this is what we did. We laughed so hard. But when I posted it, I think people thought that I was angry, and I wasn't. It was funny. It was
So what was your comment?
But the ones that came back,
What was yours?
because my post said TBT,
Uh-huh.
back when race on your license had an N for nigger. I know that it didn't literally say nigger when they wrote it out, but to me, in their hearts, it still meant it's.
Of
So
all the letters in the alphabet.
you picked that one, and so when the people came back,
I laughed and said, "Good, y'all did good on that one.
look,
Y'all still bold."
so they came back
Straight
with
up bold.
Negro. A lot of people wanted to say it meant Negro, which I knew that's what they was saying. Then one of my white friends came on one of my white brothers, because it's my homie.
That's right.
He said it actually means not white. Still
white.
non-white. Either way, still putting us.
In my position is it shouldn't take a license for you to be reminded that that's still happening.
You know,
Catch up.
or the fact that it was wrong. And my point is, because I love Keisha, because Keisha had to have a talk with Keisha from the salon.
Okay.
Keisha is the person that when I have the stars going, like I don't understand, I always have to look at her and be like, break it down for me. So me and her had a conversation, and she broke it down to help me understand why. And again, if I was wrong about you guys that came in with Negro and seemed offended, then I'm sorry that I was wrong that you might not have been offended. But even to correct it to say Negro as if it was better, I still disagree with it.
That's not an upgrade.
Yeah, it's not an upgrade.
It's not an upgrade.
And so Keisha even gave this point. And mind you, let me speak on her behalf and say she wasn't saying that she agrees with them. She was trying to help me understand from a different point of view. So she said, I said, even if it's not wrong to you guys, why are we the only race that they decided to give us a Hispanic color? And she said, oh, well, what did she say? Oh my gosh. She said Negro is not from the Hispanic language. She said it's from Latin or something. So of course I went in and looked up Latin for white, and it was not still white. So in other words, you can go to any race,
Correct.
and every color says something different. So why are we the only one that you changed it on our card?
Because we're ultimately powerful.
But to them, less than.
No, I always say it's the opposite. I
Yeah.
have to diminish you so that you never recognize your power.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Right, but
Because they think that we are.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
They
That's-
know
They have to
that we are
redo-
kings. So whatever they can do to jab us, they gonna do
and
it.
that was my point. It's still belittling though, and so
yeah, they tried it.
because
They
even Keisha was saying for them to go from nigga to Negro make them feel better, and I was like, great for them.
Right.
But if I were back then, she was like, so I can assume to say, I mean, it's safe for me to say if you lived back then, you was part of Black Panther. You're damn right.
Right.
Because I'm just not gonna.
So this is what I say when any of us say, if I was living back then, and the end of the sentence would have been, you would have killed me,
Yeah, I would have had to die.
and we wouldn't have served. We wouldn't have been able to help. So let me say it another
Dang,
way.
you just kind of shut me up.
So let me say it another way. my mentor, Dr. Chambers, we would have these conversations. I'm with you. Nah, I got him off the spot.
I'm saying I
would have said. I would have been trying to get people.
Oh, I won't trying to get
no,
him.
I'm talking about slavery. No, I'm talking about slavery. I'm talking
okay.
about plantation time.
Oh, yeah,
I'm saying and so he said to me, he said, no. I'm like, what do you mean? And this man walked with Panthers, did a lot of this stuff. I said, what do you mean? He said, we needed people to be calm and quiet so no one got hurt.
Mm.
So they're not going to just kill you. They're going to get your kids, your mama. He said, so you have to have a different mind frame. You have to work those angles in a different way. I said, that took a bigger person.
Okay.
Me and you were having an immediate response in the moment. I just want to get off what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what about people that can't talk like that? Can't fight like we can fight? Mm-hmm. They're going to get hurt too.
Yeah.
And as a collective, they collateral. And so they have to be able to step back and say, no, we all got to be safe tonight. So you can't buck.
We all got to make it.
We all got to make it forward for who. That's why my shirt, I am my ancestors' wildest. They could have never imagined we sitting right here on a microphone talking shit.
Okay.
About white people. And we get to go home.
We go back.
We ain't talking shit about y'all now. Don't do that.
Hypothetically, potentially, but in general, even to introduce the conversation, even to come back and say that's not what we mean, we wouldn't even be able to get out the first sentence.
Okay.
Someone's like,
well, that's a good point.
So that's why they endure what they endure, so that we can be pushing this forward. Mm-hmm. So your daughter can come here and do her thing, say what she said about my. That took years for that data to come out.
Yeah.
I just want to. The progress is right in front of us. Her being able to say that, and then go home. Mm-hmm. That's progress.
Y'all better not mess with my baby at school. Oh.
And that's progress. They be like, come on up here.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm just saying that's in context to me, that's progress.
Yeah.
That your daughter feels comfortable. A female African American feels comfortable in this time to say that's strength. That's progress.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about African American too?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me why again we are the only ones called something else besides just American.
So
we were born here.
So there's this thing called cross identity, Black Identity Development Scale, which answers your question. There's developmental scales of Black identity, and some of which we're just at different points.
Okay.
And so the point I'm at is it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's me.
But there's stages where it does matter, and that's where those people's identities are at. Okay. It's just no more complicated than that. Where some people like to say, "Nigga," that's an identity point, and then you can progress. I don't progress, but you can move to something else where you can say Black and still have the same feeling of pride using that word. So it's just about what people are at in their own development, ideology. But I say that to say also we all start at different points. So if you grew up with resources and didn't have all the challenges of someone that didn't, you're going to be at a different point because you have different challenges to work through. That's why people whose kids are, rich kids or whatever, they're starting here. Yes. They just wake up and their life starts right here on the road, whereas other ones got to get a job, get beat up, get cursed at. So by the time they get here, this person is already. So when you say, now you believe, so why don't you use this word? They're saying, I'm still trying to make it to understand what that means. So again, I try to get locked in because I understand that journey's different for all of us.
Well, you know how to break stuff down.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense though.
It does.
It doesn't make sense.
It does.
Because I want to make sure I'm not saying gibberish. I want to make sure I'm clear. I hate when people get real touchy and tight around that stuff, and I'm not. We can't move forward if we're uncomfortable asking these kind of questions about it. It won't ever happen. But I always look at our kids. If you want to know if we making progress, just look at your children. Right. Just look at them.
Jay Hamilton. You know who that?
Attorney McCoy.
Oh, okay. Says, I'm a Black American and proud.
I knew he was not. That's the one that he's sitting at home drawing black fists. But he worked at a very prestigious university and he kicked butt when he go to work too. All right. Because again, he's doing it in his lane. Mm-hmm. We all have different avenues. I'm sorry. Texas is my OCD is going on. I chose to be a psychologist because I want to impact our community in a different way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't really get caught up in what you call yourself. Do you come when I call? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, if you do we straight. I don't care what you was sticking in your head about you. You came when I needed you, my brother. Mm-hmm. That's enough for me. Because that means you're still with me. Mm-hmm. I mean, because there are people like, why you got dreadlocks? Some people have problems with this. We all going to still be different. But I guess I look at that as we should be allowed to be different too as African Americans. We don't have to be homogenous at all. At all. So what's having those kind of conversations still means there's diversity in the culture. Because sometimes we've been looked at as one unit.
Okay.
We're all thinking the same thing, and we're not. And we're not.
We're
So when I see that, I say, thank God. I don't want us all to think the same thing. Remember Lauryn Hill on her Uncut CD, she said, if God wanted us all to be the same, then why would he give us like free thought?
Right.
That's not his goal for us. His goal is, I have a nonprofit that I just started. I started for my wife. I have a nonprofit, and I named it I Dreamt of Being Me. But the actual statement is, one day I dreamt of being me, and it came true.
Wow, man.
That's the goal. Be you.
Yep.
Let me tell you, is the word epiphany maybe I'm looking for? I don't know. Enlightening moment that I had.
Okay.
Driving to work the other day. There you go. An enlightening moment because it really enlightened me. Nobody can be me better than me. So that's why I have a hard time when people say, somebody literally told me it's not right to not be competitive. It was like, how are you gonna be how are you gonna succeed if you're not competitive? And I remember even saying then, this was in 2004. I remember saying then, I compete with myself because I have to be better every day. And as I was driving and to hear that in my head, nobody can be you better than you. That was powerful to me because I was uniquely made to be who I am.
All day.
So I need to be a better me every moment of the day. Nobody can be me better than me.
Unapologetically.
But you better say that. Cause oh my gosh, that's my next tattoo.
That's the neck tattoo. That's the neck tattoo right there. That's the neck tattoo. That's the neck tattoo right there. Like for real.
Okay, so we gotta touch on this because I told you be sitting in the salon saying stuff. I be listening. I'm like, okay, boom. You talked about because one of the biggest things I think we talk about in here the most is relationships, and I remember you saying,
I want to go home tonight. And I want to have peace.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have peace. This even goes to what you said about her, which was how you did end up with a black woman. But you remember what I'm touching on is where you said coming up you were looked at as a nerd.
Yeah, absolutely.
And black women weren't attracted to that.
Correct.
But as you sit here today as a doctor, in your wisdom, I think this black woman has to be. She gonna let you come home tonight because she's proud. So my question is to everybody. But since you experienced it, tell us about that. Where's our breakdown with black women where we don't see
immaturity?
But I'm thinking immaturity because it's grown people. There's grown women that will not look at a nerd immature.
So me and my wife will have another 10-year battle over this. But we've had this long conversation about black women's responsibilities and the failures of relationships, parenting, everything. Okay. And me and my wife have our best conversation on a long drive.
I want your wife on here.
Because can't nobody go nowhere. Right. We here. Right?
You said black woman responsibility.
Black woman's responsibility. Okay. We ain't talking about cooking dinner or nothing like that. I'm talking about emotional responsibilities in relationships. Yes. And my premise is that oftentimes black women are not held responsible. If it fails, it's immediately the assumption that it was the man. Just hands down. You might get like 50 comments on that. I'll take on 60. I'll take on 60 of them.
But I agree. I agree.
And there are some things that have transpired in our lives, and just looking at some different things, and it's like, but she was there too. Mm-hmm. He left, but she kicked his ass. She punched him, threw hot water on her. He stepped, as my friend would say, he still got shot. Like, did God put him here for that? I don't know how much you owe someone in your own existence. Of course, it gets messy because talking about kids and stuff like that, but it's like, it was two people there. Mm-hmm. But the story is never, she shouldn't have did that. He shouldn't have left.
It's always the man.
He shouldn't have just left. And I'm like, I get not leaving your kid. I get it. I get it. But what if she stole them from you?
Oh, my.
I'm talking about moved. Like, I don't know where they're at in the world. Mm-hmm. What do I do? Don't I still get to smile a little, right? I still get to, but she took them. She took them.
Right? But and I've seen it where women steal the mind of the child.
I saw that recently.
Yeah, you instill stuff in your child about a man. That's why
I like that language.
That's
I
hard.
like that language. That's very
Listen,
clear.
I just told my daughter today I wanted to say something so bad about her father. And I was like, I'm not going to do it because I need you to have your own thoughts, feelings, and relationship with your father. I have never, 15 years, she cannot tell, nobody can tell you that I've ever said anything bad about that man to her. And I will not.
But that's taking responsibility.
Oh, well, yeah.
Let's put that as like one. Then we got that whole wall of other positions, which is, no, you should have told him because he probably is that.
No, he don't know. He don't need to know what he see every day. I don't got to tell him. There ain't nobody got to tell me I gained 50 pounds.
Well, I thought this became a very short conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry, go.
because you're speaking to my point, but this is what the discussion my wife and I are having is this, where's the responsibility? And a lot of that comes from being a psychologist where I'm like, I deal with crazy all day and I'm like, these lines just
blurring.
oh God. And we talk about the pathology. I remember my one friend, Chris, part of the men's group in San Diego, he said to me, he said in the group, he said, I think I said, there's a divide in the black men. He said, yeah. He said, it's between us and our women. He said, and until we heal that gap, we're going to always have all this going on. I was like,
Yes.
but it really, there is a divide. There's a he called it a chasm, but there is a split in it. But you have to have these conversations.
Where did it come? Where would you say it began? Where it came?
One of my premise, I think, is in the shift of coming out of slavery, African American women were given access to jobs and employment before African American men could get it. So African American men generally at that time were laborers. Hand laborers where women get the office jobs and that. So ultimately it created a situation where they were going to have more money, more access. And in that, I think some ego damage to the men, not knowing what the role is. And I think that's where I think we as African Americans could benefit from a lot of real relationship counseling, not who's going to cook tonight, no.
Yes.
She called me a motherfucker, I don't think I'm a motherfucker. I think I'm a good person. And really working through that and also understanding just because your husband doesn't have this job, he still has value.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the value gets taken away because it's connected to the income.
Right. Yeah.
But if I can never make what you make, then I'm going to always be at a deficit in our relationship.
Yeah.
I'm still a man.
I had to tell a friend that recently. He texted me about a situation, and I was like, even if you were not the breadwinner right now at this point, you were still the man in the relationship.
It's hard to feel that way.
You still have to take yes. And I'm like, please don't give up. Because if you give up, then what?
I think it's hard to feel that way because of what the world, to me it goes back to music. It goes back to these reality shows where it's like you have, I mean, everyday people. Did you guys see the post that, well, you said you're not on Facebook, the one post came out, questions, and somebody said, why is the first thing black people always look at on another person is their shoes? We judge people by their material, and we don't, and to me, my answer to the question of why black women don't look in nerdy looking guys, because a lot of times the nerd cares more about his education than the fashion that he's about to put on, so you don't see past what he has on. Or the class that he's going into. Yeah. My daughter is in all honors classes, and when I tell y'all, she's like, God, Mommy, I'm the only black person in some of my classes. I'm like, get that education, don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people ain't looking at that because they want to know, well, why she ain't in the classes with me? Or why he don't come out like we do. But he's building for this. He's doing. And you don't see what he's doing because you didn't want to look past that he didn't have on Jordans or he didn't have on whatever name brand.
He ain't driving this
or he ain't driving this or driving that. So when you judge a man,
that comes
value his
after
income only.
You've had a few horrible relationships, you've been treated like shit or whatever the case may be, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I need to switch it up and look for something different, look for something with more substance.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, me and my wife, we talk a lot of times about friends she's had in the past, girlfriends, stuff like that, and one of the things my mentor, Dr. Edwards, was here, he's the one who brought me from to Duke. He got me in Duke. And he said at some point you have to make the switch. I'm like, well, what do you mean the switch? He's like, you ever see a really successful man, you've got to be a black man, his wife is just not the prettiest, but I'm like, yeah. He's like, yes, he made the switch. He started valuing substance over what he could see visibly. And so I understand relationships better because I see a lot of my wife's friends she has now, friends she's had in the past that are still single, that have had some really good men around them. but they could not make the switch. I'm talking about men that were like, have children, that were taking care of their children. And I mean, just already showing you he's going to do this for you. Couldn't make the switch. And my wife didn't get it first. She's like, no, she likes this. And I said, she hasn't made the switch. I know I'm not what my wife used to date. But we found another way. It fit, but we made the switch without knowing it. But also I was able to make it because I had people talking to me about the process. I didn't have to figure it out. They're like, no, you're looking for this when you get married. And I'm like, no, I want her to look. That's the problem. Yeah. You want her to look. But so that comes from having people talk to you about making a switch, making some adjustments. Because I realized, because my mom was married for her, I say her husband because he's not my birth father, her husband, Richard. She, I was like, y'all look like y'all good today. She said, look, I want to throw hot water on them every morning. but I was like, but that's what I need to hear, though. When we started having these conversations once I got married. But it normalized the challenges I was having. Without having anyone to bounce it off. You're thinking, I got the worst marriage in the world. Versus no, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. And then wait till next week to see what happens then. And that's what's been really good for us is a lot of people that are responding are friends of ours that are married and stuff also. And so that helps the marriage a lot. I think that's what's really been missing is sometimes we get married and you're just on an island.
Right, yeah. All your friends are single.
And making it sound like they're having the best time in the world.
Exactly.
Sound like. But some people just don't make the switch, and I think that makes the divide really bigger. Because as you get older, you got to understand, like, it's like eating. I can't eat 12 Snickers right now. I'm old. Like, I'll be sick as a dog. But some people still try to eat 12 Snickers. Right. Understand, and not understand why they're sick. And that's where I come in as the doctor. Yeah. I say, this makes no sense. And or as my mentor said, I'll go to work on you. You don't want. That's why when we were in the shop, there's like, if there was someone in there, I need to talk to you. I was like, no, you don't. Because once I'm in, I'm in.
You ain't ready.
Once I'm in, I'm in. It ain't what you feel like doing. Right. No, I'm working. This is like when someone has cancer. The doctor said, well, that's going to hurt if I cut that out. Do you want me to? No, get the anesthesia, we're putting you out. And they just, I use my mind the same way. I'm going to go for what I know where the cancer's at. And that hurts. Because you really got to do your own work then. You really got to do your own work.
Do you do family counseling? I mean, like, not marriage.
No, family, you got whole family units, yeah.
We gonna have, oh my God, we gotta hire you for our family.
Am I still doing good? I'm still doing good? I'm okay?
Oh, no, you're great.
No, I'm still talking good? I'm make sure I'm not boring y'all. Y'all sitting back y'all getting comfortable.
No, I am comfortable, but I'm just absorbing all of this. I love it.
Oh my God. No, you're doing great. I'm
just
thinking, like, we need you in our family. No offense, gorgeous.
So, your gorgeous wife said, I feel like black men should fight to be with their kids. However, I feel as black women, we do need to stop putting our brothers down and then wondering why our men leave us.
That took us 8 years to get there.
All right.
Doing the work. I don't have any
doing
the
work.
Tiffany said that she loves the show. I have been caught at work on my phone. Gotta go. You want to read Shirley's? I'm going up.
Okay. Oftentimes, black men and black women have a more complicated dance due to poor, if not present, models for healthy relationships. That one right there, to me, that's the type of stuff that I mean. Like you touched on. Oftentimes something happens because, or you said a lot of times they go through the bad relationships and
prior to the switch,
prior to
the switch, it never comes.
But I'm talking about the people that you actually think the way you think from your parents instilling that stuff in you. To me, or the models that you saw from your parents. Like, oh, I don't want. Like, how many people have y'all run into that said, I'm never getting married because what I saw in my house? Right. That's sad.
Yeah, it is.
That's sad. Like, I mean, I hate when you're influenced by the wrong thing.
Ooh. Because the assumption is if you're influenced by your parents, it was a good one.
Oh, yeah, no.
Good point.
Yeah.
But then how do you tell someone your parents were wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying you're married to them and you know that you're talking to their mama even though they standing in front of you.
Exactly.
You can't talk about someone's mama and them at the same time. Like, that's a problem. Yeah. Like, but you need to.
But I was about to say, because I was about to say something different. I'm just too straightforward.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just say it. But tell us how to say it. Because I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh.
I do for an hourly rate.
Right. Yeah, I was like, just say it and then call him to help fix it.
I mean, for real, I just don't know.
No, but it really is that. It really is that, because when I'm in a session, I actually like couples and family, because after a while people are gonna tell you the truth because they just want to be right. And sometimes to tell the truth means to just say it.
Yeah.
I can deal with it once. My job is to deal with it once it's out.
Once it's out there.
That's my job. And that's what I try to work people on. I know people to be like, well, I don't want to say this because she's going to do that. But as my mentor taught me, it's already uncomfortable. It's already uncomfortable.
Yeah, it definitely.
Why would you assume?
I don't want to hurt.
If you're at counseling, it's already uncomfortable for sure.
already hurt, right?
Yeah, it's already.
So it really is just say it. It really is just say it.
Get it out there.
Preferably when I'm in the room, because sometimes people can say some stuff and have malice on it too.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna tell you about this, but I'm gonna add these other 10 things I've been thinking all week, and then it's all this stuff on the table. But in general, there's always sometimes just core issues. I don't care what you're saying. It comes down to very few things, and that's what I kind of tease is you don't feel heard, you feel dominated. Why do you dominate? Well, that's what my mom did, and my dad did this. We all our children, we're all our parents' children at some point. And no matter how you try to avoid it, you marry your daddy. You marry your daddy. I marry my mama. We all still marry our parents. I always thought it was crazy. I thought it was one of the craziest.
And we turn into our parents.
And our parents turn into children.
Yeah.
I've been on the phone with my mom like, Mom.
Right.
So they be like, I'm really doing this. I'm really, yes. Your daughter is gonna be you. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're who you want her to be right now.
Sometimes.
That's fair.
Sometimes.
That's fair.
And I say that to say, somebody said to me, let me say this. It's so funny because I was the person that coming when my daughter was younger, and even sometimes now, and even sometimes from her, I'm that strict parent. and I had a friend tell me the other day, like, she thought that Sage was here every time we record, and she's not. And Sage is not always watching my shows. She's not. Mm-hmm. And she said, I just can't believe you let her hear some things. And my thing, number one, was this. You didn't know me before to understand that my daughter is every year, and not year like 365 days, or let me say every season of my life. In her life, she learns a new part of me. And it's not that I was fake before, but you didn't need to see this part of mommy back then.
Yeah, you weren't ready.
Now, Sage has heard more curse words come out of my mouth at 15 than she's probably heard in 15 years. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Because as a child, you didn't need to be exposed to so much.
But it's coming anyway.
Yeah.
The world is coming.
The world
is coming.
And that's my thing. And so, I'm not that parent that's going to say, smoke weed in here because you're going to smoke it out there. No. However, I'm going to talk to you about it.
Correct.
And I always tell her, like now, I pray to God my daughter is being honest about still being a virgin. I haven't seen the change in her mindset that tells me anything different. However, I still tell her, there's no abortions. And you could get something that you will forever have. I don't want you doing it. I want you to save yourself. However, if it comes up, we got to talk about it. Come talk to me.
Prepared.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I don't expose her the way people think. And then like I have an organization, Our Daughters Keepers, and I'm pretty sure I haven't heard it, but I just feel like certain people may look at and I say that just from the comment that this person made to me alone, that some people may think, well, look at her podcast, yet she has this girls group over here. But understand this.
You were a girl, you were a woman.
I am a woman.
Yeah.
First. I am a mother. Always. And I can be a mother to any child, which is what I do in that group. But on the side, let's not forget that I have a life. Okay, and I'm going to live it. And I'm not going to stop it. But what I have learned to do is balance it. So I have this side over here, and I have this side over here. And they are both great.
I always tell people, trust
your experiences.
Yeah.
So that you can teach and guide her.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't know anything about anything, she ain't going to know nothing about nothing.
And I know a lot about something.
Okay.
I tell parents all the time when they get word, I say, trust your product.
Yeah.
Trust your product.
Yeah.
You invested, you designed it.
You
trust your
trust
product.
it.
When you don't know, trust your product. Because that's all you get anyway. When the panic that comes, you know what the world is. But I imagine those girls in the girls that you have love you.
Oh my God.
Because they're hearing and also feeling heard.
Yeah.
And I tell my wife all the time, don't talk at them. You've lost them. Because you've lost me as soon as you talk at me. Talk with me. We talk about anything. Just but when you...
Yes.
I just...
Shut off. Just shut down.
That's it.
They love me, but the most important part over the last few months of me dealing with them, I've realized that they love themselves. And that was my goal. Wow. One of the girls actually dropped out because she said, it just seems like a group to build self-esteem and I already have it. Number one, it's far from that. However, if you feel like that's what you have, give it to the rest of the girls.
Mm.
Don't leave them. Don't
show
leave them. But that wasn't even the issue. But I do come with building and encouraging females to love yourself, because if somebody had told me at their age to love myself, I wouldn't have gave myself so soon. I wasn't that person out there looking for love. I was just wanting to love myself, and so since some other people loved me, I gave them me. But if somebody would have told me, then just love yourself, then I wouldn't have needed them to love me too. So while you out here talking about, I got self-esteem, they need it, give it to them. Tell them how you got it. Because everybody don't have the home that you have. You know, so I love my group.
Help build
I love my
And they're
group.
lucky to have you. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All of the women up there are awesome too. All of the women that's a part of us. But Dr. Muhammad, we could talk to you forever. We ain't gonna hold you, because I'm looking at the time too.
I have one question before you go. Do you see any negatives in integration?
No.
No.
No. Do
Okay.
you? What do you?
The only thing that I hate that we kind of lost in that.
Wait. Maybe I misunderstood. You mean people come to the United States or us?
Us integrating.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
wait, what you mean?
So there was
Civil rights.
integration, right?
Oh, mistake.
And so
I think it
integration,
was a mistake.
yeah.
I think it was a mistake. I think it was a mistake.
I agree with you.
I think it was a mistake.
I
All we
agree
had to do
with
was
you.
wait, because this is a capitalist society. They wanted our money.
Yeah.
We took all the money out of our schools, our neighborhoods. The talented temple moved out, never came back. All of those financial
We would do-
resources.
Oh my God.
Billion-dollar income, billion-dollar industries, and we took it and just, here, y'all take some. Y'all take some. That's why our HBCUs are struggling.
Yeah.
We took all, because imagine Central could be equivalent to a Harvard now if we would have stayed in our communities. So let me be clear, integration to me, I'm not saying we should not have become part of America, nothing like that. All I'm saying is we already had what we needed.
Yeah.
We had each other.
Yeah.
We already had each other. We just
Right.
decided the white man's ice was colder.
Oh, so you guys, y'all see I was sitting here trying
Yeah,
to
I missed the question, then I realized
Okay.
what she was
So
like.
you're saying we should have kept our schools with us, like
We were so self-sufficient. We had everything we needed.
Yep.
Black doctors, black nurses, tailors. You know,
And
just everything.
everything.
We had everything in our community. We had everything we needed in our community. And now, who's a black tailor? Name, name one.
Actually,
Like, you
actually,
have
one
one?
You're gonna come to my house.
Absolutely.
it's
All
one
right,
next
it's
door.
one next door.
It's one next door.
Hallelujah.
but
But you know, like
I get you though.
1,000%.
now there's an
1,000%.
app to find black businesses.
All you have to do is walk out your house.
I
And
get
what,
You know what I mean?
and what kills me now is, because y'all are from this area, I'm down in Durham.
Okay.
But Central, Durham in general, but the surrounding areas around Central, gentrified.
Here too.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
And it's heartbreaking, because that's why I wanted to move here,
Right.
is for the community. And that's hard to watch, because that didn't have to happen. We could have at least held on to our houses.
Okay.
The house your grandmother gave you, all you have to do is pay the
They are
taxes on it.
trying their best to
Losing.
get my grandmama's house. Every day she gets a letter, a call about somebody want to buy our house. We ain't doing it. You ain't gonna get it.
I know. But I'm trying, and I know from 2009 till now, this visually, like, first of all, our Central wasn't nobody other than African Americans down up in there now.
Yeah. Right.
That's the same way down here, downtown Raleigh.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow, like, y'all, you're letting the history and gone.
Yeah.
Let me read. This is what. Oh my God, Jaria. Do you remember we had?
I
her on the
do. Is she up here? I missed
No,
it.
she posted
Oh,
something.
okay,
Oh
okay.
my God, I gotta read this before we go since y'all talking
Yes.
about it.
Shirley Davis said, "Courageous conversations means talking about things that are uncomfortable. It also means putting pride aside, not having to be right, but wanting to be healthy." I love that,
And
Shirley.
wanting to
Thank
grow.
you.
And wanting to grow. God, where's her post? She said something about she saw. Gosh, I have got to find this post, y'all. I'm
She's
sorry.
posting all the time too, so
You know
you're
she
gonna be
crazy,
scrolling
but
for me.
look, she crazy, but she be telling the truth. She said, okay, she said, I know change is inevitable, but I just can't get used to seeing all these Caucasians living in South Raleigh. I just saw 6 walking their dogs on State
Yep.
Street.
I was going to say, when she didn't walk in their
Look,
dog.
and she said, and I locked my doors.
Something's wrong.
She said, my
wrong
mind
with y'all?
just can't grasp it.
Can't grasp it. I be seeing white folk on their dogs. I be like, do they know where
In
they are?
areas that we sometimes fear going
Exactly.
outside, and now y'all just like whatever.
It's real.
It is,
real.
and I don't understand though.
And they
Like
doing it in Garner. Where y'all at in Garner? Where the shop is
Oh,
at?
absolutely.
I remember when
I
there
saw
was
that part,
nothing
I saw
there.
that picture of what they want Garner to be. Black folks know where to be found.
Oh, see, I don't know about going like that.
I know,
So shout out to
I know
Kitchener for
for-
buying that building.
I remember when he was right down the street.
Yes.
Yes. I remember there
Yes.
was nothing. They were giving that stuff away.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, dang, for real? He's like, I know, bro. It hurts. Because you know, we could have had this whole block.
Yes.
It was nothing. That was a back street.
Oh wow.
He bought it at the right time. And good on him.
Mhm.
Blessings
Yeah.
on that brother.
Yeah.
Blessings on that brother for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, listen. When can we get you back, man? 'Cause, oh my
I
God.
gotta ask my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, bring her.
Okay. What?
So she can tell us.
You said no.
She can come alone. I can come alone.
but not together.
Y'all will see a marriage demise.
Okay. Well, yeah. Y'all stay separate. Don't y'all come up here together.
No, not together.
But y'all would
I'm
like
glad
that.
she
Y'all
was
would,
watching.
you all would like, she would talk.
Oh,
Y'all
good.
Would, y'all would, yes.
Okay, well, talk to her. Tell her to
I'll
come see
definitely
us.
let her,
Come on.
let
through.
her know.
Come on through.
And my brother Alvin, Dr. Kidd, Cheryl's fiance,
Okay.
school psychologist.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
he has a difference been on the educational side of how black boys are impacted by the schools and tell me stuff. I'll be like, oh, I didn't
Is he
know.
here? He local?
He's here. He
Oh, well,
just
yeah,
moved from
him
San Diego.
too.
He just moved from San
Yeah.
Diego.
Shirley
lives in Durham.
Davis.
So
She was
you
posting.
would, you would.
Yeah, you know, listen, we have a good time up here, you guys, and we talk about some street stuff, I guess.
Everything.
But
We talk about everything.
we need to bring this too more often. You know, we had the pastors, we got the doctors, we getting everybody. We
I'm
need to
coming
educate ourselves.
And he is
Yeah.
certified. I saw that post about Dr. Umar. But yes, he is certified. He is.
Don't make
That was so mad.
Don't make me don't play
He is certified. He is certified. Okay.
Don't mess with
Educated.
that.
He got proof.
No,
Receipts.
you can look me up on it and
got receipts.
psychology board. Yeah, I was hearing about it. I was like, what did he do? We'll talk about it. I just
Yeah.
not clear. Like,
Yeah, I'm not clear on it.
He went hard.
But listen, wisdom don't care where it come from.
Right.
Doctor or no doctor, he be
Doctor,
spitting
he
something out.
surely
Now, I
does.
can't
He
say I
does.
agree with everything.
Yeah,
he
I
say,
can't agree with everything.
just like
But he
when you
does
brought up
say some
Farrakhan,
amazing
now
things.
listen, I get some wisdom from that brother. I don't care what they say about him. Farrakhan got
Yeah.
some knowledge.
Just gotta take what you need.
Yeah,
Just take what you need.
Take
I just want to tell everybody he didn't bring you this far to drop you off here.
I know
That's
that's right. Come too far from where I started
Come
from
on.
too.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much,
all the
Dr.
amazing
Muhammad, for
comments.
blessing us. Thank your wife for allowing you to come. Tell her we look forward to meeting her and coming back and telling us about Black women responsibilities because
Yes.
we need to own it and we need to learn it and we need to live by it so we can build up the empire of our own race. Not to take away from other races of people, but
But to ask
we are powerful. And
That's
we
right.
need to stick
We are.
together. We need to get out of the bucket and we need to bring all the crabs with us out the bucket and let's just go to the ocean and live.
Help somebody else.
Yeah, each one teach one and learn and grow and all that good stuff. So again, thank you guys. I know we came y'all in the middle of the day, but we
This was
appreciate you
great.
listening. We appreciate your time, and
Thank you,
we look
Dr.
forward to having
Muhammad.
you back.
I'll be back. Thank you.
All right, thank you
Bye,
guys.
y'all. Are we being reduced?
You said are we behind? Right there at the bottom. Go bring it back down, and then right there to the all the way to the right. Is this finished?